my independent and compassionate Aquarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Aquarius, there are weeks when the world feels just a little more uncertain and the air around you seems to buzz with quiet expectation. You may find yourself standing between the comfort of what has been and the restless tug of what could be. There's a peculiar tension in your chest, a mix of anticipation and hesitation that whispers whenever you look toward the days ahead. This week, the familiar rhythm of your thoughts seems shaken, as if you're waiting for something unnamed to reveal itself. Beneath your easygoing manner, a current of questioning runs deeper than usual. It's not anxiety exactly, but rather a sense that something in your life is about to shift, and you're not quite sure whether to lean in or step back. The urge to look outward to imagine other possibilities is strong, yet alongside it is a soft ache for clarity, a desire to know if you're really ready for change or simply restless in its absence. It's in this space, right at the crossroads of longing and restraint, that your story quietly begins this week. You carry the energy of someone who is quietly surveying the horizon, aware that a choice is approaching but not rushing to meet it. The Two of Wands appears in your narrative, not as a loud declaration, but as a subtle presence, a reminder of your tendency to hold your dreams in your hands and weigh them against the reality you know. You may find yourself replaying familiar scenarios in your mind, testing the waters of change while still anchored to what gives you comfort. There's a certain steadiness in your posture, even as your thoughts drift toward unknown territory. Perhaps you're feeling the press of decisions not yet made, sensing that the moment to act is near but not quite here. You might notice how in quiet moments your mind returns to the same questions. Is it worth the risk? Am I ready to step forward? What if things don't turn out as hoped? These aren't doubts so much as honest assessments, a careful consideration of your next move. You recognize that something within you wants more, wants to expand, but you're also attuned to the costs of leaping before you're sure. There's the gentle frustration of waiting, the subtle impatience that accompanies anticipation. Yet beneath it you also sense the value in pausing, in letting yourself feel the full weight of your desires before turning them into action. This inner dialogue is not new to you, but this week it feels more pronounced. You stand at a personal threshold, aware of the choices ahead and the responsibility that comes with them. Even if you don't voice it aloud, there's a low hum of expectancy in your spirit, a readiness that is quietly building, even as you hesitate to name it. From this place of inward weighing and subtle anticipation, your path begins to take shape. The feelings you carry ripple outward, drawing possibilities and uncertainties in equal measure. It's as if your cautious curiosity sends signals into the world, inviting events and encounters that echo your internal restlessness. The more you dwell on what could be, the more the world seems to respond with moments that ask for your attention. This is not a call to action, but a gradual emergence, the unfolding of a landscape shaped by the contours of your own hopes and uncertainties. The week ahead moves you into the domain of the moon, where clarity is not easily found, and the familiar becomes tinged with ambiguity. Here, everyday routines take on a slightly surreal quality. You may notice odd coincidences or subtle shifts in conversations that leave you wondering what lies beneath the surface. Emotions swell and recede like tides, sometimes catching you off guard with their intensity or their sudden absence. There's a pressure to see through the fog, to untangle what is real from what is imagined, yet the answers remain elusive. People around you may seem more mysterious, their intentions harder to read. Even simple decisions can feel weighted with invisible significance. This atmosphere creates a friction between your need for certainty and the reality that not everything can be known. You might find yourself second-guessing choices or questioning whether your intuition is leading you forward or astray. The moon doesn't offer easy explanations, and so you move through your days with heightened sensitivity, alert to subtle cues and unspoken tensions. The sense of anticipation from earlier in the week becomes a gentle pressure to act, but each step is accompanied by a flicker of doubt or a shadow of hesitation. The world seems to hold its breath alongside you, waiting to see which way you will turn. At times, this uncertainty can feel overwhelming, a fog that blurs the path and leaves you searching for solid ground. Yet there's also a strange comfort in knowing that you are not alone in this ambiguity. Others, too, are navigating their own uncertainties, and you sense a quiet connection in shared vulnerability. The friction you feel is not a sign of weakness, but a natural part of moving through uncharted territory. Each moment asks you to trust yourself a little more, to walk by feel when sight alone won't do. The pressure is real, but so is your resilience. In the midst of confusion, you begin to recognize that waiting for perfect clarity may be less important than learning to move with grace through the unknown. The potential for growth this week does not arrive automatically. It waits, just beyond the mist, for your conscious engagement. The presence of uncertainty does not guarantee transformation. It is only when you choose to meet these moments with openness, when you allow yourself to sit with discomfort and curiosity alike, that the meaning of your experience begins to shift. The path is not made smooth by wishing, but by your willingness to participate fully in whatever arises. If you allow yourself to be present with both the longing and the uncertainty, something steady begins to take root. Justice enters your narrative now, not as a final verdict but as an invitation to align your actions with your deepest sense of fairness and balance. This is not about making perfect decisions, but about honoring what feels true for you, even when external circumstances are unclear. Growth comes through recognition, by seeing your own motives, fears, and hopes without judgment. You are invited to stand in your own integrity, to let your choices reflect not just what you desire, but what feels right in the larger context of your life. Justice invites you to see the connections between your inner landscape and the outer world, to notice how your decisions ripple outward. This week you may discover a quiet power in acting with intention, even when certainty is out of reach. By responding honestly to the moment, acknowledging both your doubts and your convictions, you create the conditions for real clarity to emerge over time. There is a sense of relief in letting go of the need to control every outcome, trusting instead that you can meet each moment with sincerity and care. Growth is possible, not because everything is resolved, but because you are willing to show up exactly as you are and respond with authenticity. All three cards weave together to paint a picture of a week defined by careful consideration, emotional complexity, and the slow emergence of self-trust. At the outset, you stand at a threshold, aware of possibility but unwilling to leap without reflection. As the days unfold, uncertainty rises to meet you, not as an obstacle, but as a companion on the journey. The world becomes less predictable, and yet you find within yourself a resilience you may have underestimated. Through it all, a deeper sense of balance calls to you. The choices you make, large or small, become opportunities to align your actions with your values. Even as clarity remains just out of reach, you find comfort in your own sincerity. By week's end, the tension that marked your beginning is softened by acceptance. You do not have all the answers, but you have learned to trust your process, and in that trust, you discover a quiet reassurance that you are exactly where you need to be. For now, actionable insights for Aquarius this week. Let yourself linger a moment longer in uncertainty before moving forward. Try naming aloud the feelings that surface when things feel unclear. Notice how small acts of honesty with yourself shift the tone of your day. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am present with what I feel, even when it wavers. Each question I carry is part of my path. My choices reflect what matters most to me. Clarity grows as I meet each moment, and I trust myself. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.